Good afternoon and good evening, everyone. This is E3 with John Guns, and how excited I am to come to you today. Listen, this is such an amazing experience, this E3 thing, right? It's amazing. I've been doing it now well over a year. I've grown so much from E3, just being able to share space with you. So invite someone right now. Come on, invite. Yes, invite. Encourage others to join us as we continue on this journey of becoming our best selves and achieving what we know to be God's will. I had an amazing day. I spent time today with the African American presidents and deans of ATS schools, or schools that are part of a consortium of theological schools that have come together under a consortium known as ATS. It's not just Black schools, it's schools from all over the country. It's hundreds of schools that have come together under ATS, American Theological Schools. And so I'm a part of this consortium of African American leaders. And it was amazing listening to the conversations, amazing hearing the presentations. And the one thing that became very clear to me was the fact that as we work through the processes of achieving purpose, we must have the mindset that sees the potentiality and maximizes those things, those opportunities that are in our possession. I've kind of decided that for the next few weeks, I'm going to settle in on this whole idea of mindset, this whole idea of taking advantage of opportunities. That's kind of where I've been the last few weeks anyway. But I really want to hone in on this, that there are opportunities that you are a part of, that if you manage them appropriately, they will produce outcomes that are extraordinary. There are opportunities that are presented to you that if you manage them appropriately, they will produce outcomes that are extraordinary. Make sure you get this. If you take advantage of the opportunities that are in your possession, you will be absolutely, utterly amazed at what God does to ensure that you achieve the will and the purpose of God. Right? But you got to take advantage of these opportunities, and you got to have the mindset that doesn't miss them or mismanage them. There's this amazing quote, and the quote is, "Nothing is worse than missing an opportunity that could have changed your life." Nothing is worse than missing an opportunity that could have changed your life. I have a friend of mine who told me about an opportunity that his family had to purchase a piece of property. It was literally dirt cheap. The property was literally dirt cheap, right? And as a family, all they needed was to get together about $10,000 and buy this piece of property. Now, they had the money as a family, but a couple of the family members didn't want to, exhaust their resources, or they didn't see how it was a good opportunity. Well, guess what? That piece of property in 15 years sold for $31 million. Okay, you missed it. $10,000 15 years earlier, give or take 15 years earlier, 15 years later, $31 million. The family could have walked away with $31 million, and they would have never looked back. My friend tells me that there are persons who are at that table that are still alive, who are struggling financially today. And the little $2,000 that they could have invested, now they don't have much more than that in the bank. It's the inability to see opportunities. We call it discernment. Everybody put that in the thread, discernment. But also, I think that half of the problem is that we don't recognize that advancement comes with aggression. Did you get that? Advancement comes with aggression. That if you don't have a sense of aggression, and I'm not talking about physical aggression or violent aggression. I'm not talking about aggression in that way. I'm talking about violence and physicality. I'm talking about being willing to pursue something in an aggressive way. What does that mean? It means that when opportunities are afforded you and when doors are given to you, you have to go through the door with the intent of achieving what the door is designed to walk you into, right? Watch this. At some point in your life, you have to have the courage to recognize that life doesn't get better until you are willing to go through processes that are designed to produce a better you. You got to be willing to go through processes that are designed to produce a better you. Let's go back to the quote. Nothing is worse than missing an opportunity that could have changed your life. Failure then to maximize opportunities that advance you. Failure to maximize opportunities that connect you to people who can bring you into a different space. Failure to see what's possible will ultimately work against you. So let's go even further. Kenneth A. King describes something very important. You ready? He describes opportunities as divinely orchestrated schemes for the advancement of humanity. Let's try it again. He describes opportunities as divinely orchestrated schemes for the advancement of humanity. Every time you utilize an opportunity well, you will never return to the previous state in life. God, that is so big. Every time you utilize an opportunity well, you will never return to the previous state in life, which means, as I said yesterday in worship, you will never see it again. Exodus. Once you get over this Red Sea, you'll never see the Egyptians again. The only way you'll see the Egyptians again is if you go back across the water. But this time, you're not walking on dry land. If you go back, you got to swim across or you got to build a boat, which means you got to invest energy that is unnecessary. This is so important. So I want to talk about a couple of things with the mindset to do this. First thing, train your mind to see the glass as half empty and not as half full and not half empty. Train your mind to see the glass as half full and not half empty. Why? Because when you see stuff from the half empty, you miss it. When you see stuff from the half full, you take advantage of it. This means you have to cultivate a mindset of anticipation. Put that in the thread. Mindset of anticipation. You've got to be believing that this day is going to be better. Every day, every night, my wife prays for me. And every morning, my wife prays for me when we pray with Taylor. She has this consistent habit of saying this: Lord, let this day be a productive day for my husband. And let this be a great day where he gets done everything he needs to get done. She says it differently, but she says that almost every day. Let it be a productive day and let him get done the things that he's supposed to get done today. That to me is anticipation. You have to anticipate that this is going to be a productive day. You have to anticipate that there are things coming your way. You have to anticipate that there are opportunities, right? And it's so amazing. Because when you cultivate a mindset of anticipation, you are also doing something else, which is capping emotional distractions. Woo! When you cultivate a mindset of anticipation, you are capping emotional distractions. And when you cap emotional distractions, that means you are minimizing the impact that anxiety and stress has on you. You got to know how to put a cap. Watch this. Hold on. You know what? I'll do this. You see this? See this cup? Okay. I take the top off. Anything can get in it. When I put the top on this cup, right? When I put the top on this cup, guess what? There's the stuff that would get in it that I don't want in it. If you pour it, it can't get in. Have you capped emotional distractions? Do you know the things and the people that you have to put a lid on so they don't affect you? It's so important. It's so important to manage emotional distractions by cultivating a mindset of anticipation. Look, Lawrence Schriller writes, the most important thing you learn as a sports photographer is anticipation. Not where the action is taking place, but where it's going to take place. not where the subject is now, but where they're going to be. He's a world famous photographer. And he said photographers are amazing, especially sports photographers, because they're always in anticipation. They may actually be anticipating a touchdown pass. So they begin to take the picture while the player's work is happening with anticipation of catching the outcome. Okay. You ready? Here's the other thing. You got to make sure that you become a person who, with wisdom, handles every stage of your life. You got to make sure that with wisdom, you have the courage to handle every stage of your life. So I'm going to close today because I don't want to keep you long, because I got to get to, I got some amazing things happening in terms of our family today. And so I want to make sure that I'm in place as a G daddy to be supportive. Watch this. One of the things that I've discovered is that people who have incredible mindset capacity, you want to know what makes them amazing? Is that they are willing to pick up the subtleties of shifts and then start moving towards the subtlety of the shift. I mentioned anticipation, but now I want to take it further. I can anticipate something and still never move towards it. So decisions start to change. The way we handle circumstances start to change. The way we converse with people start to change. And we look up and things have shifted. And we look up and things have turned. We look up and things have gone in a different direction. I need to say 3 things to you today. Here's the first thing I need to say to you. You need to make sure that while you're walking out life, that you are asking for the wisdom to make every step count. First thing, while you're walking out life, ask for the wisdom to make sure every step counts. Here's second thing. Know that relationships are not expendable, but that relationships shift when the person who has been in that space now is toxic and cannot manage what God's doing with you. Now, this is really difficult because sometimes people say, but that's my sibling, that's my parent, that's my spouse, that's my children, that's my best friend since I was a child. Even in those kind of relationships, you got to understand how to manage them, because your mindset requires a managing of emotional distractions. Here's the third thing. Once the decision is made, don't panic because it doesn't work right away. Once a decision is made, don't panic because it doesn't work right away. Here's one of the most important lessons you'll learn in life. Be courageous enough to press through, be loving enough to stay in it, and be excited enough to believe the best is yet to come. I want to thank y'all for watching E3 tonight. Listen, mindset is amazingly important. Do not miss the value and the power of mindset. However a person thinketh, that's who they are. So let's think big. Let's believe possibilities. Let's go after things. Let's not be afraid to try. And watch what God will do. Be blessed, everybody. We'll see you next week as we are living our best lives by being empowered, equipped, and educated.